here in Daegu, over here, right, the southern edge of South Korea. We are here with yet another qualifier for. Wait, what? Wait.
Qualifier?
It's Sunday? Wait. Never mind. We're here with ESL Open Cup Asia number 84. Well, how about that?
Mate, when was
I never thought we'd ever get to cast this again.
Yeah, it's been months. It's been actual months since the last time we had an ESL Asia.
It really has, hasn't it? And as always, I'm of course Yakuzaku of the Zaku, and with me today is el administrador que no has visto lo malvado que puede ser este decano Light_VIP, and I appreciate that they messed up the first map, so now we're remaking. Gives us time to actually do that intro.
It does, it does. What's up, Yaku? Yes, as you were saying in your introduction, we are back to casting ESL Open Cup Asia. For those wondering, of course, we have been on a bit of a hiatus with this tournament because of the DreamHack qualifiers, and also before that, ANZ Champs was on Sundays as well. You were, of course, focusing on your studies, everything was just stopping us from casting this. And I'm glad to be back because, mate, this is like kind of the highlights. Yeah, what?
Yeah, back to basics if you want to.
In a way, like, oh god, this was the highlight of the week for me, you know, or tuning in to who can stop, if anyone can stop Zest from winning this tournament.
Fairly lately, that's been Cure. A lot that we need to catch up on. I've just been looking through the Wikipedia brackets as we were getting ready. But, of course, without any further ado, we are going to be kicking things off with two players who we've had the pleasure of casting plenty of in the past couple of weeks with in all those qualifiers and those V streams and whatnot. We have in the top left-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top left-hand corner, the red Terran player coming down all the way from the land of Taiwan. He is going to be representing Clan Rush. He is Naxin.
And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade Ellie, getting proxy 2 racks. Let's go! We have the Pakistani Terran player representing himself. He was previously known as Razorblader, but he is Raza.
Old mate Raza. And I was going to say, it's interesting how they're mirroring one another with their supply depot placements. And then I looked at what Naxin was doing. Yeah, no, this makes a lot more sense. Suddenly.
It feels bad, man. So fun fact, I was actually talking to Raza before the tournament started. Sorry, as the tournament was starting. I was like, yo, like, we're ready to cast you. Have you signed up for this before? And he's like, yo, I just happen to be awake. I'm going out in 5 hours. Like, I have to get some sleep soon. But I was like, you know what? Let's play. Let's do this. He's getting cheesed out. Oh, God.
Well, at least you'll be able to get some sleep if Naxin is successful here.
I guess so. Mate, this is not your typical proxy, mate. He's going for Marauders.
And he is. Double Marauder production is coming in, and there's no vision whatsoever here from the side of Raza. Now, if he rallies his Reaper to the cliff, he might. No, I don't think he will. I don't think he will regardless. But he will check. Very nicely done. Unfortunately, not a lot of firepower, but if he can pull a couple of SCVs, they will be able to get this around on those Marauders. Bunkers, unfortunately, I don't see them doing too well against Marauders, but still.
It's also late.
It's a little bit of extra.
Yeah, the Marauder, it comes out. It's already focusing down the SCV. A couple more boys are being pulled here. The Reaper is doing his best it can to try and keep this Marauder at bay to finish up this bunker.
Man, Marauders have so much health, don't they? Especially when you're fighting in a choke point like this. Only one SCV can attack at a time. Ooh. Double Reapers coming down, though.
Yeah.
And this is going to be an interesting dynamic. How well are the KD8 charges versus the concussive shells?
That's the real question. Meanwhile, it looks like the SCV does survive just barely. The bunker finishes, and these Reapers are doing fairly well. Ooh, have to be so careful. Widowmine follow-up.
Well, provides a little bit of zoning there. It's definitely very difficult to avoid that. One of these tech labs should go down, and with that, no more Marauder production from that barracks at least, but there's already going to be 5 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
The bunker.
Oh god, the Widowmine,
Oh, get some splash damage. And that was a very healthy Marauder at that. Naxin is very vulnerable here.
Yeah, exactly. There are only 2 Marauders left, and one of them is already low from earlier, and it looks like every single Marauder is going to go down. Meanwhile, we do have one more on the way, but dude, the tech lab is burning down.
It is, but the bunker is empty right now. Not anymore, though. And with only 2 Marauders, you cannot break that down, especially when there's enough SCVs to repair.
Wow, exactly. The defense is sold here from old mate Raza. These Marauders are trying to find some more damage. Oh my god, the Reaper does get picked off.
Yeah, but the Reaper not exactly the most valuable thing in the world right there. Raza has bought himself enough time for the Cyclone to come out, and he is just going to be able to kite away from the concussive shells. Kingdom Come, essentially.
Yeah, exactly. Meanwhile, Raza has to be careful not to lose this Cyclone, but as you said, the kiting is on point. The final Marauder goes down. Naxin is forced to transition.
Yeah, and honestly, he's transitioning a little smoother than I expected. That was a very committed proxy for our Red Terran player. But while he's delayed it for a while, he does have enough resources to get his natural base up and running. He will be able to get up to his starport tech.
Yeah, that he will. But I mean, Razorblade, his natural's on location. You know, he's already working on his own Raven. Naxin is still a little bit behind, but he's not dead, right? He's not. Oh my god.
Okay, that is greedy getting a 3rd base this early. If it pays off, it will really pay off. That is one way for Naxin to just really assert himself economically, but we shall see. Right now, a Cyclone, Raven, a couple of Marines doesn't seem like too much, but what does Naxin have in comparison?
Exactly, he's got 1 Cyclone. No, sorry, 2 Cyclones. Oh, and they get a look on first.
Oh, that they do. 1 on the Raven, 1 on the Cyclone. The Raven will survive, but the Cyclone is taken out, and that definitely is much more of the backbone of Raz's army. He will be forced to retreat. Doesn't get any damage done, really.
Yeah, exactly. Raz has to go all the way back home. But again, you know, at least he has his CC already up on location. The one of Naxin has to be, you know, landed. It takes a little bit longer to get going. But as you said, like, that 3rd CC, so far, he's getting away with it. Like, this is a great way for him to claw himself back into this game.
Very much is, but we'll see how much time Razorblader wants to give him, old mate Raza, as he is setting up in the middle of the map, not looking to do any major pushes yet, just waiting to see what his chances are.
Yeah, exactly. As things are stabilizing, things are normalizing between these 2 players. After an insane, intense, hectic couple of minutes, like, things are settling down. You know, we can breathe a little bit easier here. And we could even, like, be in for a longer one. Like,
we really could, as both players are looking to get into just Marine tank.
Yeah, thankfully no one's playing mech.
A very big advantage there. I think you had enough of that from Bota this morning.
Don't remind me, mate. So pure, not a pure legacy in that chat.
Look. He has his principles. Pure Legacy does.
I guess he does, mate.
That
I
principle
guess.
being never play bio.
Fun fact.
No matter what.
The finals was actually a best of 3 because Cham wanted to play in this tournament as well, and he's in the bracket.
There we go. And he knew going up against Pure Legacy was like, nope.
Yeah. Best of 5.
These are gonna be long games.
Exactly. Yep. So yeah, we haven't talked about it. We'll talk about it later on, of course. We have a pretty stacked bracket today with all of these players. Meanwhile, Razorblader, he is now across the map. He has the air superiority. He has the Vikings.
Yeah, I'm really digging Raz's army right now, but Naxin, just with that ramp alone, has so much defensive potential. There's 1 Raven that's about to have 2 disables, and that will be enough to take out the tanks. We'll see how well he's able to pull it off. The air superiority really working in his favor with those Vikings.
Yeah, almost one-shotting that Raven, mate. Meanwhile, there is that disable that you were talking about. We have the tank slowly leapfrogging forward.
Or maybe it is the best time. The 3rd base already in a lot of trouble. So many Vikings. Jeez.
Wow, that 3rd base is just plummeting when it comes to HP. The Vikings just going ham on it. Meanwhile, the tanks of Naxin
just wants to land.
Oh my god. The Ravens.
And there we have it. It was either going to be a gambit that really paid off or a very massive sunk cost. And in the end, that was 550 minerals. That did not work out for Naxin. Raza been able to break it on through. Doesn't have a lot of marines, but he doesn't have to worry about anything in the sky. So he just lands his Vikings. No more siege up tanks from the side of Naxin.
Exactly. There's only one left, and now there are none left as Razorblade takes the game after that crazy proxy.
GG. Naxin, he wanted to make it a bit of a shorter one here. He heard about Raza's appointment later on and was like, all right, I'll help you out. You're going to need to help a little harder there, Naxin.
Oh god, just a little bit, as oh god, as we may have to remake the lead lobby. There we go. But we're getting ready, we're getting set up for game number 2, and it's just one intense game 1. Also, something else that I want to add is that that Raza was saying that he's playing with 300 ping.
Yeah. He is. You're going to be playing on, well, I actually don't know which is worse for him, Korea or Taiwan. I think they're about the same lengthitude. Is it longitude or latitude? Wait, latitude is a vertical one, right?
Yes.
Okay, so
wait, no, is it? No, hold on, I don't think it is. I think latitude is horizontal.
Oh, what about ratitude?
Oh god. But yeah, it's been a long time.
Really has. I am gonna have to reset my brain a little bit here. I have to remember. All right, so Zest was around last time we did ESL Asia regularly, and he's still around, surprisingly.
Yeah, he is big surprise, right? I mean, but we have some pretty big names here. Like, it's great to see Juanito once again. It's great to see Cham, because he is in Korea, so we get to see some more of him. I'm keeping my eye out. Is Hero here? He is. Yo.
He is. Yeah.
Mate.
Them old timers. I think I saw Gumiho signed up, but I'm not sure if he checked in. He did.
Yeah.
Up against Kiwion right now.
Ooh, yeah, that's gonna be
returning players.
Mate, look at that! All the Korean Terrans are facing each other down there.
Mate, I do not remember ESL Asia being this stacked. But regardless, we are going to be continuing our series here on Oxide LE. We're in the top right-hand corner map, swinging all the way in the top right-hand corner. We have the red Terran player already putting in some fear and suspicions into his opponent's head with that smiley. He is coming out from Atlanta, Taiwan, representing Clan Rush. He is Naxin.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, we have the Pakistani Terran. He is blue, representing himself. It is old mate Raza.
This time, things are going a lot more standard for both of our players. Naxin not trying anything cheeky across the map. Doesn't mean he won't be cheeky just yet. He could be cheeky back home.
True. I mean, it's so risky trying to do like a proxy 2 games in a row, especially when it kind of fell on its face a little bit there. So we should be seeing a more standard game, and which is something that I would look forward to. Like Naxin, he's a strong player, like himself. Like, he doesn't need to cheese.
He really doesn't. I mean, qualifying for the close qualifiers, if my memory serves, I mean, that entire 2-3 week period just is blending together for me, like. But yeah, Naxin is definitely a big name in Taiwan. Not quite on the same notoriety as expect some of the other Terran players, and if I'm not wrong, it was Lemon who really popped off for the first time when we talk about Terran players this season, DreamHack. But Naxin, big name, story player. Does a lot more casting nowadays, I think, but still a really good player. Yeah,
definitely, and it's great to see him here in ESL Open Cup Asia. Fun fact, going into this series, Raza was like, mate, who is not like is Naxin good? I'm like, he's pretty good. But
You need
like,
to be watching more B streams, buddy.
yeah, like I want to
Turn
see
the C
how
something like that.
yeah, I want to see like how they shape up, right? Like two players who didn't necessarily, or like who I would say are maybe around equal skill when it comes to each other's region, right? Like
I'd
how
agree
do
with that.
they, yeah, how do they shape up, you know?
Sort of on the breaking into the top tier, I would say, when it comes to their respective regions.
Exactly,
Of course, both of
exactly.
them actually, yeah, both of them actually have broke into that top tier in the past couple of seasons of DreamHack,
Yeah.
both in the top fours.
Exactly, exactly. So we'll see how these two regions collide and how they compare. As already Raz is up one game, but again, you know, it started with a proxy, right? How much can we really glean from that? It's always rough to transition out of that proxy, especially when your follow-up is a third CC and when it dies.
Yeah. Risk reward, this time higher risk than reward. And both players are actually playing very different from one another. Razorblader prioritizing Reapers a lot more will allow him to get across the map quicker, will allow him to turn on a couple more KDA charges, whereas Naxin looking to do a bit of a Hellion drop in addition to a single Reaper.
Yeah, the medevac is on the way, mate. He's going to go for that drop, but the army is going to be here. What I will say is that thankfully, Razorblade should be able to scout at least the amount of Hellions that are out. He may even be able to see that medevac.
That he shall. Now, Reapers versus Hellions, one of them definitely favored against the other. Nice little juggle from Naxin, saving one of his vulnerable Hellions. But now he wants to drop. He's going immediately across the map. What is the response from Raza? Go home to defend.
Exactly. He's rushing, racing that medevac back home to make sure he can defend his mineral line. We even have a couple of Marines here in position as well. So Razorblader has the tools that he needs, but are they going to be in the right place at the right time?
That's the major question as Naxin goes for the dark corner of the base. So the Hellions, he immediately sends his medevac away. These SCVs ripe for the picking.
Exactly. 5 SCVs already going down. The army does respond, and he's going to be able to clean this up, but not before SCVs are killed.
7 of them. Oof. Definitely well worth it as Naxin gets a very comfortable 9 SCV lead in addition to all those mules he's going to be landing.
Yeah, and because of the opener, like the medevac was even able to escape. It's not like there was, say, a cyclone in the main base waiting for the drop to try and shut it down or anything like that. And oh my god, he just goes for another.
Huh. This time with a cyclone, he really wants to clean up those vulnerable SCVs, or well, he's actually going for the natural base, which, regardless, could be a bit of a mistake as Razorblader is looking to reciprocate the damage.
Mate, there's nothing, there's a single tank. He scans, he sees how vulnerable the base is, but at the same time, he must be thinking, yo, where is the rest of your army? You should have much more than this. Something is amiss here as the drop is headed towards the natural base of Raza.
Alright, let's go for the base trade.
Okay, he's going
I'm
in,
only
he's going
half
in.
joking right now. He is dropping the Hellion right on top of that tank. There's not enough of a buffer here for Naxin's tank, and it will get picked off. The SCVs are being pulled, and the SCVs are going down.
Oh my god, exactly at the same...
Very conservative here.
Yeah, at the same time, would you have that drop? More SCVs are going down on the side of Raza, and oh, he does drop into the main base to defend. The problem is that there's only a single tank and a Raven.
There is. He could try to drop in the tank, but instead he decides to go for the SCVs. He really wants to cripple Raza before moving forward. Our target gets a little bit as he backs away, and meanwhile on the other side, Raza being very conservative with the attack here. Understandably, as he only has a single tank, but now that tank has been taken out. There's no bio left for Naxin, though.
There
only
is
a single tank.
Yeah, but the tank is going to get focused down. It's going to get locked on by that cyclone, and it's just barely enough to take the tank out.
Yeah, awkward positioning there, right on top of the ramp, and it looks like Raza should have just enough to break through here.
Nice target fire. The Raven even gets picked off. Every single SCV falls. There's only a single Viking. And at the end of the day, Raza, the Viking is
go down.
Oh my god, the snipe. But you know what? Naxin still has the worker lead.
He does for now.
What about the base lead? He has to be careful. He doesn't want to lose the CC.
He really doesn't. That is the absolute priority right now for him. Naxin trying to get a bit more damage across the map, and he's still on a 9 worker lead despite all of his losses. Both players really bleeding out workers, but I am so confused. Okay, so Raza definitely had a lot more room to breathe here when it comes to his production, so he is setting reinforcements across the map. He is continuing to at least try to choke out Naxin. Naxin, meanwhile, it felt like he tried to fight back a little too soon before he really had what he needed to, and now he's starting to pay the price.
Yeah, maybe like, you know, evacuating the natural should have been the call. Instead, he committed to the defense. And now we do have the Ravens coming in. We have the disable on the tank, and Razorblader has a massive army.
Indeed, he does. The SCV is being pulled again and being taken out once more. Thankfully for Naxin, there is a tank on the high ground, but is that really going to be enough? He has nothing to buffer. All of his SUVs have been taken out. No more worker lead for him.
Oh my god, and the final tank of Naxin just barely gets taken out. It's so razor thin here, but every single time Razorblader just comes out, and that CC that we were talking about, it's gonna go down!
Naxin just cannot get a CC up in this series, can he?
He went for a third, Yaku! He's so greedy. He just keeps going for the. Stop it, Naxin! Stop it!
As we learned in Catholic school, greed is a sin, and Raza, he's looking to show why that is, 2-0ing his opponent. Feels bad, man. He just wants to sleep, Raza. But he has to be good enough to win, and he's like, no.
Gee.
I have to keep going.
Exactly. GG for not an Naxin. Yeah, like mate, that defense was so close, right? Like he was all like he just barely wasn't holding. And like imagine if those resources that were spent on the third CC were spent on the army instead. Like he was thinking a little bit too far ahead, right?
That's absolutely what it feels like. Naxin, he wanted to chase away Raza as quickly as possible so he could mine from that natural base location. If he was just a little bit more patient, you know, set up on the high ground with the ramp, get a couple more units in, get another tank out, evacuate that natural base immediately, as you said, he would have had a massive lead. He was doing tons of damage across the map with his own drop, but in the end, just got a little bit too impatient and had to pay the price for that. Unfortunately, impatience is not a sin, but greed definitely is. So Raza was able to punish him in that way.